There are few things in life that are more effective at stifling personal growth than a fear of rejection. For some, the very prospect of being found unlikable, unattractive, or unqualified is so crippling that they'll gladly sacrifice any number of opportunities to avoid this potential outcome. In an effort to safeguard their ego, such people regularly forego possibilities for relationship, connection, skill development, and the realization of their true potential. How about you? Are you prone to this as well? Do you routinely turn down opportunities, fail to take chances, or put aside the things you truly want simply to avoid the possibility of not measuring up? Maybe this fear is tied to some past event. Maybe you've grappled with it your whole life. Whatever the case, you know and I know that you can't go on this way. You have to move forward. You have to put your fear to bed, because there's just too much at stake to ignore it and do nothing at all. Your fear of rejection isn't simply robbing you of one relationship here and another opportunity there. It's closing off entire pathways of possibility. Make no mistake, every time you give in to a fear of rejection, you erase complete chapters from the story of your life. And in doing so, you rob your life of the richness, beauty, and depth that truly might have been if you only had the courage to face what you fear. The stakes are high, which is why you must face your fear of rejection head-on. To begin doing this, you need to understand where your fear derives its strength. There is a source from which your fear of rejection is constantly feeding, a source which amplifies it and gives it the power it needs to hold you back in life. That source is your own lack of self-approval. It may seem counterintuitive, but one of the primary reasons you crave the approval of others is because you've learned firsthand that you can't get it from yourself. You don't measure up in your own eyes. You don't pass your own tests. So you look to others for a second opinion, hoping their appraisal of the facade you present to the world will yield better results. But instead of providing consolation, this quest for outward approval results in little more than a deep and persistent unrest. You can't guarantee that others will supply you with the validation you need, especially when you need it most. It's this uncertainty about whether your external sources of validation will perform their job, which produces the anxiety fueling your fear. What I want to suggest to you is that the best method for overcoming a fear of rejection is not to convince yourself to stop caring about the opinions of others, but rather to return to first principles. Instead of asking yourself, why do I care so much about what other people think? Ask, how do I start to care more about what I think of myself? What actions am I routinely performing which are causing me to lose self-respect? What am I habitually doing which is contrary to my values? I promise you that when you begin asking these questions, a very clear and uncomfortable set of answers will soon emerge. Don't ignore them. Pore over them. Meditate on them. Write them down. These are your marching orders, the infallible set of directions which will chart a course for you out of the fog of your crippling self-doubt. By communing with yourself in this way, you'll be able to form a set of actionable steps to begin winning back the self-respect you've denied yourself for too long. More importantly, you'll discover a pathway to begin garnering trust. With others, of course, but most importantly, with yourself. A trust which will lend you the inner confidence to face the possibility of rejection with serenity and with dignity. When you align your actions with your values, you'll find that the need to prove yourself to others begins to diminish. You'll learn that measuring up to someone else's standard isn't as important as you once assumed, because in some very tangible way, you've already measured up to a standard that is no less important: your own. When you maintain integrity with your values and foster self-trust. The weight of convincing others to accept you falls away. This frees you to approach the people in your life with authenticity. You can genuinely give yourself to others. You can put away the false caricature of the person you were pretending to be, the one you thought would win their approval, and instead share the very best version of yourself. The one that is genuinely you, the one that embodies his values, the one that keeps his promises and lives by his convictions, the one you can genuinely be proud of. That being said, I need to share with you one hard but important truth. As difficult as it may be to hear, you need to know that you're not entitled to the approval of anyone. No one is obligated to like you or to think well of you. In light of this, all you can do is present your very best self to the world and let it draw what conclusions it may. The bottom line is that, no matter how hard you try, you can't control what others think. So be wise and invest your attention where it counts. On the words you speak, the thoughts you think, and the things you do. Let your mantra be that of a wise man who once said, "Will anyone despise me? That is their concern. But I will see to it that I am not found guilty of anything deserving contempt. Will they hate me? Let them see to it. But I will be kind and well-intentioned to all." This is all you have. It's all you've ever had. And it's enough. One more thing. If you struggle with the belief that no one could ever think well of you or be proud of you, I want you to know that there is absolutely someone who can. Me. Because you're here, you're listening, you care, and you want to improve. And for that, I'm very, very proud of you. So keep moving, Spartan, and know that whatever you're facing, I'm still rooting for you, just as I always have, and I always will.